Hey everybody, my name is Colin Wilcox with Extraordinary Concepts. You got to put extra in front of ordinary to be extraordinary. That's how it's spelt, and that's what we do. You got to do that extra thing. So today we're going to be talking about AI digital strategy. We're not going to actually be getting into the strategy part. We're going to be talking about actually the people that you will strategize to. So a lot of people don't actually know what our customers are now. Like we've changed over the past 20 years, and I want to get into some of those changes so you are much more effective in your strategy as far as getting them into your restaurant, because that's what we want. We want them to cross that threshold and come into your restaurant and not be such prisoners to the social media world. So anyway, let me bring over here, like I was saying, AI digital strategies. Maybe I'll put my little self in the little corner here. Here I am. So AI is artificial intelligence, but also more importantly, it's applying innovation, and that's really important for us to apply innovation. So let's kind of get into that. And what's your strategy? I'm not sure if anybody's really planning a strategy currently as far as AI digital goes, but we have to do it. We have to do it now. We're already behind. And this is always what we want to do. So the empty seats and the full seats. So we walk through our restaurant, and when we see our restaurant with empty seats, we get a little anxious and say, man, oh man, I just would like to fill the seats. So, but we have to figure out like who are we actually marketing to. And this small little video is going to be talking about who we actually create marketing to. Who are our customers, and what mindset are they in? So before, back in the old days, we used to just have, used to be just the digital world. There was no digital world. We were all analog. Everything was analog. We had yellow pages, radio, and newspaper. That was kind of like the biggest part of our marketing brands. We could go to the TV, but nobody did that. But our social media was all in this circle right here. Everybody just sort of socialized in this space. We came in there. We sat in the restaurant. We talked about TV shows that were going on. We'd see, we'd have to make sure we got home before 7 o'clock if we wanted to sort of see some special show. And then we'd come back to these restaurants and we'd talk about that show or what we missed. And we'd never be able to see it again until it was a rerun. So that was the old days. Those were wonderful days, where people actually sat down and talked to people. And then we had TVs, and so on. That was the biggest part of our maybe digital experience. But we have lost control. So we have totally lost control of ourselves, I believe. There's a lot of things that have created the people we are today, and we're going to go over that quickly. How did all this happen? How did we lose control? Well, this is how it happened. Yes, Steve Jobs, he made us lose control. That device right there has changed the world. The world as we know it has changed people as we know them. This right here, Mark Zuckerberg, he has changed the way we communicate and the way we, socialize with our peers. 1.7 million posts per minute are actually done on Facebook. That's just Facebook, not Instagram, TikTok, all the other ones that are going on. That's just, Facebook, 1.7 million per minute. Then we got viewing. Viewing has changed. 5 billion daily views have changed. We've got celebrities. Celebrities have changed. Mr. Beast has 383 million subscribers. There's only 330 million people in the United States. So he's got more subscribers than there are people in the United States of America. That's out of control. I think like the Super Bowl only has, I don't know, it's maybe like 100 million people watch the Super Bowl. Imagine the power he's got. Attention span has changed, so people aren't paying attention anymore. Their attention span since that device has been invented has reduced by 3,300%. So 3,300% reduction in the attention. And then eating has changed as well. Our eating habits, not only are they not as great, but it's also, we don't have to go out anymore. We just kind of, get up our phone and that's it. And we're going to be talking to our phone, and then we're just going to have food arrive based on what we're going to say. Drinking has changed. Drinking has also changed, So there's, sober October, which is very challenging to our industry, and also dry January is also. And then these little gummies, those are also challenging to our industry where people aren't drinking as much because they like the gummies. So those have changed. Sleeping has changed. People are actually falling asleep with their devices. And then so screen time has changed. People are always on their screens, their eyeballs. The big companies, all they want is our eyeballs. So that's changed, and they do a really good job at it. If you can see this little seating here, everybody's looking at their device. So the only thing that actually beats out screen time is sleep, and by that past, slide, you saw that that's probably not the case. Falling asleep with your cell phone. And then social skills have also changed. Again, I'm doing this really quick, so we can understand, who we actually marketing to, who are our customers, and how do we get them to want to be in our restaurants. This is a big one for me. This is scary, but AI generated images have changed the truth. People aren't going to know the truth right now. They kind of question it, and then I don't know. It's already happening where you just have no idea what's real. And that skip. Skip that skip button is a very popular button. Everybody presses it. So patience has changed. Nobody's actually watching an entire commercial or an entire video or an entire music. They're not even listening to the music. My kids stop. They don't listen to the music. Whole song. I said stop and just let the song run through. They just off to the next song. Listen to something. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't want it. So they're not even listening to the whole songs. Travel has changed, and that's that's obviously going to be it's happening now out in California, and it's going to be happening all over the country, where we just jump in a digital car, and that digital car takes us wherever we want. But as that digital car is driving wherever we want, it's also going to be grabbing data wherever we want when we talk to it, and know what everything we do. And we're already in there, so people don't say like, "Oh man, I don't want that to happen." It's already you're carrying your device around with you. They already know everything about you. Even brick and mortars have changed, brick and mortars. When I say brick and mortars, people get kind of nervous, you have a brick and mortar. But yeah, so brick and mortar restaurants, they have food trucks popping up all over the place. And the food trucks do a very good job at their social media presence. And when they do the social media presence, they're kind of telling people where they're going to be. And then, sometimes they might be right down the street from your restaurant or even maybe across the street from your restaurant. So that's also been a challenge. It's changed. People have changed. So it's obvious to me, it's obvious to the way we're thinking that people have changed. I know I've changed over the past 20 years. I'm sitting here doing a YouTube content, and I'm 58 years old. And what I never in my entire life would have said, no, I think I'm going to be in front of a microphone and a camera when I'm 58 years old. No, not me. So because of this change, people, this is the scary factor is because of all these changes and the people that we're talking about, this has changed. So you no longer have a front door. That is not your door anymore. Your first door, the first door that they're going to go through is this red one. I call it the digital door. And they're going to go through that digital door before they go into your restaurant. So you need a digital presence. You need to have, be involved in the digital landscape. They're going to go into all these. They're going to check out, they'll be sitting in front of your restaurant in the parking lot before they go in your restaurant. And they're going to open it up and they're going to look at what's going on, what kind, what kind of Google, Facebook, Instagram, what kind of presence you have, and they'll make that decision based on that. And then we're also going to have, and this is happening, and by next year, 50% of the population will be doing this, but as AI agents will have a say in whether the customer is going to go to your restaurant or not. And that's just by talking to it. So right now, if you talk to Alexa, you talk to Google, say, Google, where can I find a good margarita around here? An AI agent actually goes out and looks for that. So if you also don't have a digital presence, then then that's going to be a problem because that AI agent will not come back and say, hey, I think you should go to this restaurant. And so, like I said, so this first door that you're going to pay attention to is going to be your digital door, the digital world. And I have other videos where we get into AI and we get into this whole digital landscape and how to actually combat the algorithms, how to combat the AI agents, and how to actually take back control for yourself and say, okay, this is how I can control my own eyeballs, my customers' eyeballs, and get them to come into my restaurant more often. So that's that, my friends. Thank you very much for listening to me. My name is Colin Wilcox. I'll be popping up all kinds of different videos about AI, which I call it, it's applying innovation, and other little crazy tricks for this restaurant. So I appreciate you listening to the video. My name is Colin Wilcox with Extraordinary Concepts. I will talk to you guys later.